Hello everyone, welcome back to our social studies class. And today we are going to learn new thing, and that's gonna be about the fundamental teaching of Buddhism. Are you ready? Okay, so before we proceed, let's have first the following vocabularies we have. Are you ready? Number one, we have the word kernel. Kernel. We have the translation. Again, kernel. Right? Next word, pursue. Pursue. Third word, base. Base. Again, base. Fourth word, we have wisdom. Wisdom. Again, wisdom. Fifth word, we have the word passion. Again, passion. Right, very good. And the last word we have is unfulfilled. One more time. Unfulfilled. Okay, very good. Now let's proceed to our points to discuss. All right, number one, what are the two ends of lifestyles which lead to suffering? Again, what are the two ends of lifestyles which lead to suffering? Number two, what kind of lifestyle which leads to wisdom and nirvana? Again, what kind of lifestyle which leads to wisdom and nirvana? And the last one we have, what are the Four Noble Truths? Again, what are the Four Noble Truths? So we will answer these following questions after our discussion. All right? Now let's proceed to our lesson. Teaching of the turning of the wheel of the truth, or in Indian word, it is called the Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta. Okay, this teaching contained the kernel of the teaching of Buddhism. When we say kernel, that means the main teaching of Buddhism. Okay, so we have here the Four Noble Truths and the Noble Eightfold Path. The Buddha preached this to his 5 disciples at Varanasi. So, where did Buddha preach this teaching? Where? At Varanasi, to his 5 disciples. Understand? Very good. Okay, so this is the symbol. This is the symbol of the turning of the wheel of truth. This one. Right? Next. So, the Buddha said, do not pursue desires which are base or common. First, he said, do not pursue desires which are base or common. Like for example, if your friend have a new thing, and then you will ask your mom, Mom, can I have this new phone the same as my classmate? And then when your mom cannot give you that thing, then it will lead you into sorrow, right? It will make you sad. And the second one, do not pursue pain and hardship, which is sorrowful and unfulfilling. So these two are the two lifestyles that will lead you into sorrow. So Buddha said, don't do these things. Okay? So here we have the middle way. So this is the solution of this problem, the middle way. So Buddha said, the middle way avoids both these ends. Okay, these sorrowful ends. Because the middle way will give you enlightenment. it brings you clear vision, it makes for understanding, and leads to peace, wisdom, and nirvana. In other words, it will give you good decision in life. Understand? Okay, very good. So, next, teacher, what is the meaning of nirvana? Okay, when we say nirvana, it is a state of freedom from all suffering that can be achieved by removing all personal wishes. Just like if you want to become a monk, then you have to remove all your personal wishes so that you will achieve the freedom from all suffering in life. Understand? Okay, good. So here we have the Four Noble Truths. Number one, the noble truth of sorrow. Second, the noble truth of arising of sorrow. Third, the noble truth for the stopping of sorrow. And lastly, the noble truth of the way which leads to stopping of sorrow. Now let's discuss these Four Noble Truths one by one. First, number one, the noble truth of sorrow. When we say the noble truth of sorrow, it means there is suffering. So Buddha himself sees this problem when he goes around India. He sees that there is suffering in life, and he found out what should we do to end this suffering. But first, let's find out what are the things that makes us sad and suffer in life. Okay? So first we have here birth. Okay? What else? Age, disease, death, contact with unpleasant, separation from the pleasant, and every wish unfulfilled is sorrow. So these things will make us suffer or sad, right? Okay, so I have examples here. First, we have birth, right? Oh, as you can see, this mother is about to deliver the baby, right? So as we can see, she's suffering, right? She's in pain. That is why birth is called sorrow. Birth is sorrow. Next. Okay, as you can see, we have a picture here from a young face going to an old one. Alright, so here we can see that age is sorrow. When people are getting older, then it will make them sad. So the third one, we have this one. All of us experience having sickness, right? Or disease. So what will you feel when you get sick? Yes, of course. We feel bad. Okay. That is why disease is sorrow. Next. What do we have here? Yes, exactly. Someone died. So if someone died, what would you feel? Would you feel happy or sad? Yes, feel sad. And that is why death is sorrow. It will make us sad. Okay, and here we have contact with unpleasant is sorrow. Okay, as we can see here, this man is firing his worker, right? So, if you are this man, what would you feel? Yes, exactly. You will feel sad and it will lead you into sorrow. Okay? Next, we have separation from the pleasant is sorrow. Okay, as we can see here, this family is divided. For example, if you are the child, then your father will work far far away. Then what would you feel? You will feel sad because you will miss your father, right? That is why separation will lead you into sorrow. All right, so next, unfulfilled wish is sorrow. As we can see, the boy is crying. It's because his wish is unfulfilled. He wished to have pizza, but his mom didn't allow him to have pizza because he is sick. That is why he is sad, and that leads him into sorrow because he wished to have a pizza, but he cannot have the pizza. All right, so next, number 2, we have the noble truth of arising of sorrow. When we say the noble truth of arising of sorrow, this means there is a cause of suffering. Okay, so here we have sorrow arises from thirst, the thirst for sensual pleasure, for continued life, and for power. Okay, just like for example, the boy that we discussed a while ago, why he's suffering, why he's sad. What is the cause why he's sad? Because he didn't fulfill his wish to have a pizza pie or a pizza. Understand? All suffering we are experiencing in this world has a reason, has a cause. Okay? So this is the noble truth of arising of sorrow. Okay, next we have the noble truth for the stopping of sorrow. It simply means there is an end of suffering. But how can we stop or how can we end the suffering? Okay, very easy. First thing that we have to do, we have to completely stop the thirst. What are these thirst in our life? Thirst for the sensual pleasure, for the continued life, and for power, so that no passion remains. If we can stop all this thirst in life, then we can end all the suffering we have in. Understand? Okay, very good. Now next, here's the last one. The noble truth of the way which leads to the stopping of sorrow. Okay, this simply means there is a way to end suffering. This is based from the Lord Buddha, that there is a way to end suffering, and that is the Noble Eightfold Path. Okay? To end the suffering, and the way to end the suffering, we have to follow this Noble Eightfold Path, which is based from the Lord Buddha himself. Okay? Now let's have the following questions that we had a while ago. So we have to answer all of this. Okay? Number 1, what are the two ends of lifestyles which lead to suffering? Okay, yes. Okay, we have two, right? First, we have pursuing desires which are base or common. and the other one is pursuing pain and hardship. So this lifestyle will lead us into suffering. So we don't have to do this one. Okay? Number two, what kind of lifestyle which leads to wisdom and nirvana? Again, what kind of lifestyle which leads to wisdom and nirvana? Okay, yes, that is the middle way. Number three, what are the Four Noble Truths? Again, what are the Four Noble Truths? Okay, we have the Noble Truth of sorrow, the arising of sorrow, the stopping of sorrow, and the way of stopping of sorrow. So these are the Four Noble Truths. Now let's have questions here. Okay, I want you to write down your answers in your social studies notebook. Are you ready? Okay, question number one. It is a state of freedom from all suffering that can be achieved by removing all personal wishes. Again, it is a state of freedom from all suffering that can be achieved by removing all personal wishes. A. Nirvana. B. Wisdom. C. The middle way. Okay, so just please write the letter and the word, the exact answer. Okay, let's proceed. Number two. Where did Buddha preach to his 5 disciples about his teaching of the turning of the wheel of truth? Where? A. In Lumbini. B. In Taj Mahal. Or C. At Varanasi. Okay, next question. Number 3. Which of the following does not belong to the group? The noble truth of sorrow. B. The right view or understanding. Or C. The noble truth of the arising of sorrow. Okay, number 4. It is enlightened. It brings clear vision. It makes for understanding and leads to peace, wisdom, and nirvana. What is this? A. The middle way. B. The noble truth of sorrow. Or C. The nirvana. Okay, so we have the last question, number 5. To whom, where Buddha preached the teaching of the turning of the wheel of the truth, or in Indian word it is called Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta. To whom? Is it to the priest? To the travelers? Or C. To the 5 monks? Okay, if you're finished answering the questions, you can now take photo of your answer, and then you can now send it to our line. Okay, so that's all for today's lesson. I hope that you learned something in this video. See you next time. Keep safe and goodbye.